of you. Welcome back to course Artificial Intelligence. Our today's topic of video is Introduction to Mean End Analysis Algorithm. So before this we discuss various uninformed search technique as well as the informed search technique. So in this case we discuss about DFS, BFS, A star, AO star, and in the last video we discuss about the constraint satisfaction problem and how to solve it. Now we are in the end, so we are going to discuss the last informed search technique, that is a mean end analysis. So now let's discuss about mean end analysis search technique. So it is till now we discussed the various informed search techniques which make use of specific domain knowledge. So we found that most of the techniques traverse either in a forward direction or in a backward direction, but mean end analysis is that kind of technique which is a mixture of both. Forward direction, which is a mixture of both, that means in this case we need to move in the forward direction as well as in the backward direction, but it's a mixture of these two. And we also found that the previous technique that we have discussed, they traverse only in a one direction, that is what either in the forward direction, just like that in the hill climbing algorithm, simple hill climbing or steepest ascent hill climbing algorithm. So we are moving in the one direction, but in case of mean end analysis we need to move either in a forward direction or a backward direction. That means in order to solve a very complex problem, we need to move in a multiple direction, not only in a specific direction either in a forward or backward, but we need to move in the both the directions. So at that time mean end analysis search technique is very much useful, and by using this we could solve major in this mean end analysis technique. The mechanism is that we need to solve some major parts of the problem first, and then we come back to solve a smaller problem, and then we assemble the solution. This is what a major mechanism involved in the mean end analysis. Means we are going to solve major part, means just like that in case of divide and conquer strategy, what are the problem that we need to solve. First of all we divide this problem into number of sub problem, then individually we solve this sub problem, and then we combine the solution. Similarly in case of mean end analysis, what we have seen that we just divide our problem, but in this case first we try to solve a major part of the problem, and then we return to smaller problem, and then finally what we'll do, we try to combine the solution of the both the problems to in order to get the final solution. So this mean end analysis technique was invented in the year of 1960, and first GPS, that is general problem solver, was the first AI program to exploit this mean end analysis search technique. Means GPS, it's not a global positioning system, it's a general problem solver. It's a problem solving program which was the first program which make use of this mean end analysis technique, mean end analysis search technique, to solve this kind of problem. And finally we can say that it is based on the technique of divide and conquer. We already know about the divide and conquer strategy. So in order to understand mean end analysis, we'll take a simple example of a household robot. Okay, we take a simple example of household robot. So in order to understand the robot movement, obviously for robot you are providing different instruction, and according to that robot is going to behave. Just take a simple example of household robot. In case of a household robot, you can give instruction to robot to move from one place to another, to move the object from one place to another, and so on. So related to this, what we have seen, robot operator is being defined. So what are the operators? So let's discuss this one by one. So push is one of the operator. So here you can see that push having two attributes, one is object and second one is a location. That means suppose you need to apply push operator to that particular, means you need to give instruction to a robot that push. So push will include two attribute, one is a object and second one is a location. That means what we need to push, we need to push a object from one location to another. So obviously what is your current location, so location is important, and in order to perform perform push operation, there are some preconditions are necessary. Means this push operator is only possible when its precondition is being satisfied. So what are the precondition? First precondition is that robot should be present at the location of object, because our task is to move the object from one place to another. So for this, suppose you intend to apply push operator, then in that case precondition is that a robot should be present nearer to that object, then object should be large. Means because in this case we have either option of push or you can carry. Suppose the object is small, you can carry easily from one location to another, but the object is large, in that case you are going to perform push operation. So second precondition is that object should be large. Third condition is that the object should be clear. That means suppose one object is there, on the top of that object another any object will be there, so this thing will avoid. Means we want that there is nothing should be present on the top of one object. So this is the third condition. And fourth one is that the arm of that robot should be empty. Suppose a robot carries one object and we have given a push operator to that robot, so obviously that robot is not able to perform it properly. So for that purpose the condition is that the hands of the robot should be free. So these are the precondition in order to apply push operator, which accepts two attribute. One is a object and second one is a location where we need to move this particular object. And what should be the result of this operator, push operator? That the object location is changed from one location to another, and robot is also present in the new location where that object is being moved. So this is what a first operator, that is push. Similarly we have second operator called as a carry operator. So it also takes two attribute, one is a object and second one is a location. So what is the difference between push and carry? The simple difference is that suppose the object is small, then you need to perform carry operator. Suppose the object is large, then you need to perform push operator. So what are the precondition in order to perform carry operator? First condition is that robot should be present nearer to that object, and second thing is that object should be small. Then and then you can perform carry operation or carry operator. And what is the result of that? The object is moved from one location to another and robot is also present at the new location. Now the third operator is walk. So it accepts one attribute, that is location, where should we walk. So there is no precondition required in order to perform walk operation by the robot, and result is that robot is moved from one location to another. Then next operator is pick up the object. So in order to pick up the object, precondition is that robot should be present nearer to that object, then and then robot can able to pick up that object. And result is that pick up means what? Holding. So at the result that robot will hold that object. So this is what a result after performing this pickup operator. Then next operator is put down object. So again precondition is that when robot can put anything when it holds something. So that's why condition is that robot should hold certain object, then and then put down operator is possible. And what should be the result? Not holding, means suppose you put down the object, nothing will be there in the hand. And finally last operator, that is a place operator, means you can place one object on the top of another object. So in order to perform this operation, what is the precondition? The precondition is that robot should be present nearer to the object 2 and holding the object 1. That means object 1 should be placed on the top of object 2. Means robot should be present nearer to object 2 and robot should hold object 1, so that object 1 can be placed on the top of object 2. So here you can see what is the result. On top of object 1 we should place the object 1 is placed on the top of object 2. So these are the various operator that we can use in order to use the household robot at the home. Because how that robot is working, robot works based on the instruction. So instruction is being set, and suppose you are giving instruction, according to that your robot is behaving. Now let's take a difference table will understand you. So here we need to perform operation. So in order to perform move object, suppose the operation is move object, so what kind of operator is required? Means suppose I need to move cupboard from one location to another, so in that case I need to apply two operator, either push operator or carry operator. Now suppose suppose the object is large, so obviously I will use push operator, and in order to use push operator, these are the precondition and this is what a result. And suppose the object is small, then I can perform carry operator. Then next operation is move robot. So in order to move the robot, you can use a walk operator. In order to clear object, which operator you apply? Pick up. That means suppose the object is pick up from this, then object should be clear. Then get object on object. So for that purpose, which operator you will apply? Place operator. Means in this case operation is there and these are the operator. In order to perform this operation, you required this many operators. So this is what a matrix which is plotted in order to perform this particular operation, which is a possible operator that you can apply. So we are discussing about get object on object. So in order to perform this operation, which operator you can apply? Place. That means you can place one object on the top of another. Get arm empty. So in this case, two operator can be applied, either put down or place, and holding, in this case you apply one operator, that is pick up. So this is how the household robot example works. So it has operator as well as the difference table. Now finally we discuss about the algorithm exactly. So mean and analysis, having these two attribute, one is a current state and second one is a goal state, because in case of searching technique, mean and analysis is one of the searching technique where we need to find our goal. So obviously you are present in the you are currently present at the initial state, or you can say current state, and you need to achieve the goal state. So first of all you need to compare whether your current state and goal state is same or not. Suppose it is same, then you can say that you reach to goal state. Suppose it is not same, if no difference, then you have to return the success. Otherwise what you need to do, you need to select the most important difference and reduce it. Means you try to measure the difference between the current state and the goal state, and you try to reduce it by doing the following until the success or failure is indicated. That means you are present at the current state and you need to reach to the goal state. Just like that, you need to reach from your home to the railway station, so you need to calculate the distance. What is the distance between your home to railway station? So in that case what you see, you try to reduce the difference. Means when you can say that you are reaching to the railway station where the difference is 0, when your current state and goal state is same, then means you can say that you reach to that railway station. So in that case what you will do, select an untried operator O that is applicable to current difference. That means you measure the difference between current state and goal state, you got some difference, and in order to reduce that difference you will apply some operator which is not yet applied, and if there are no such operator, then signal the failure. Means you have applied all the operator but still you will not able to reach to the goal state, then you have to signal the failure. Otherwise what you need to do, attempt to apply O to the current state. Means you applying the operator O to the current state so that difference can be reduced and you reach to the goal state. So generate the description of two states. So O start, it's a state in which operators preconditions are satisfied. Means in order to start operator, we have just discussed before this that suppose I need to use push operator, its precondition should be satisfied. So same thing is there. And O result, it's a state that would result if operator O is applied on the O start. Okay, so these are the two things are there. And finally what we have, first part miss, as I told you earlier that mean and analysis works on the concept of divide and conquer strategy, and we have seen that in case of mean and analysis is a search technique where we try to complete major part of the problem first, and then we come back to complete the small part of the problem, and then we try to assemble the solution, both the solution, in order to get the final solution. So that's why this part is the last step. First part of MEA, it accepts two attribute, current state and the starting state, and last part MEA, that is result and the goal state. So finally you got the means you have solved the larger part of the major part of the problem, and then small part of the problem, then you got the solution. You combine the solution so as to get the final solution. So this is how mean and analysis search technique works. So finally we can say that mean and analysis is a kind kind of search technique which is used to solve a complex problem, where you can move in both the direction. It's a mixture of both forward and backward directions. So I hope you understand mean end analysis. So this is how we discuss all the informed search technique as well as the uninformed search technique. Thank you.